Alrighty. Hello again, this is Trace Majestus. Oh, excuse me. And we're back in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Back in replenishing our engineering materials so we can get back to engineering our fleet. So let's get in game. Oops. Did I do something wrong? I think I did something wrong. And get things rolling. Hello, Mr. Mad Hatter. Welcome back. Gonna have to check, make sure I got in the right mode. I don't think I did. I think I went into open. Yeah. So we shall see. Hello, Vagabond. Welcome back. Yeah, yeah, sure. No, private group. I did it right. Okay, fine. Alrighty. Did I log in there? Yes, I did. All right. So data, nearest, material trader, search, Wulganda. Okay. Galaxy map. Hello, Tacido. Welcome back. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
If I was on 5 minutes ago, you wouldn't be saying that. But we'll hope it holds for a little bit. Ew. Cassidy orbital. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
I can understand that. Like right now, I'd like to go to bed and not wake up for about 48 hours. Of course, that's not possible, but I'm not sure that this antibiotic is doing enough. Started out, things were getting better and better and better, and it's kind of plateaued. Open hailing frequencies. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
This port operates under federal jurisdiction. You must submit a request before landing. Okay, Commander. You are go for approach to pad 3-5.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Touchdown sequence complete. You may disembark when ready. Welcome to the station, Commander.
Oh my, forgot to sell this at the carrier. Oh well. Hello, Hug. Welcome back. Ah, rep change. All right, 300, 300, 295. I want to get away from dealing with that row. All right. Nope, don't want to do that one. That's a good one. All right, that takes care of that one. Hello, James. Welcome back. Boy, I used a lot of stuff up, didn't I? Hmm. You might be right. All right, so yeah, I'm aware of that. But it's like here with the phase alloys, right? I have to cross trade because I can't go down one. And so what I've been doing is working top, left to right, basically. So I've got one here at 199. So tier 1 and tier 2 are done. Some of the tier 3s are done. And I'm working my way down. So now I'm working this far down. Well, I'm at 199. The only way to get one, I can't get one from just to the right, so I have to cross trade. Which means I got to go grab a proprietary component to make it 200. Phase alloys. I need 2. I don't want to get from focus crystals because that's not a good place to get them from. All right, so all the 3s are done. Now I need 4s. Protoradiolic alloys. No, I can't do that. I need 2 to do that. So let's go up to core dynamic components. All right, that's done. Now, refined focus crystals is a problem. I can go 3 for 1 for exquisite focus crystals, but there's no way to collect those. So we'll think about that in a second. This one, I can go get a few there. That means I need 2. So I can go there. All right. $141 on the shielding. I need 9. Well, that's easy to do. And that gets all of tier 4 except the refined focus crystals. Now, means I can get 23 there. 23 there. And that gets me to 150. All right, so all the tier 4s are done. That leaves me. Pharma isolators are difficult to collect, so are biotech conductors, and so are exquisite focus crystals. So those 3 I'm going to have to trade for. And the only way to trade for those is cross-trading, which sucks. So we'll trade these guys. Get 6. That will get me to a 91. That will get me to 100 on those. Well, the reason I did some of the grade 4s is because, exquisite focus crystals is an expensive cross trade when I'm going 3 to 1 down. It's less expensive, actually. Actually, it might even be the same cost. I'll have to do the computation on that. But anyway, So I got 4 dynamics, 24, which means the only one hard one left here is biotech. So we'll trade down our militaries, and then we'll trade down our imperial shielding. Where'd biotech go? Pharma, biotech, okay. All right, and that's where we're at. So let's just quickly write down what I need. We need military alloys. We need proto-heat radiators. We need improvised components. We need military supercaps. We need imperial shielding. We need core dynamics components. And proto-radiolic alloys. Okay, that's quite a laundry list. Yeah, that's what I did. And that's why I worked from left to right. I also tried to consolidate. Part of the reason I was going up and down so much is I was trying, when cross trading on the lower levels, I was trying to make it a multiple of 3, so that it's only a 1 trade going up a level, and I don't have to recross trade. What I was trying to do. How much I succeeded? Okay. At any rate, I'm where I'm at. So I need find minor factions at war. Oh, I can do an any. They made an improvement. War or civil war, any of those states. I didn't know I could do that. When did they add that feature? All right. Looks like Grable is my next stop. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
Alright, let's go over here. Set this up. The only thing I'm going to care about are signal sources. And before I go anywhere, limpets. Gotta have limpets.
Clear the landing pad. Observe queuing system when exiting the station.
Retract landing gear. Retract landing gear. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
You're all clear. Till next time, Commander.
Wow, that was a ways out there. It is war, though. 17 minutes remaining. I can get there. Whoops. That was a little fast. All right, what do we got? Proto heat radiators. Definitely need those.
Programming input drone. 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 Cargo scoop deployed. Limpet drone error. Deploy cargo hatch. Cargo scoop retracted. Limpet drone error. Deploy cargo hatch. Cannot comply. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Do do do. Do do do. I'm tempted to get a heatsink for this.
Temperature critical. Warning. Temperature critical.
Hello, Majestic. Welcome back. One of these days I'll do the trip out there online. Hello, Nemesis. Welcome back. Oh, good.
Cargo scoop deployed. Programming limpet drone. 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 Programming limpet drone.
20 minutes ain't bad. Did you need the fuel tanks? I actually haven't tried it in one of the new ships, so I'm not sure. Oh, wow.
Cargo scoop retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Oh, no.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Wait, proto heat radiators. Yeah.
Programming limpet drone.
No.
Cargo scoop retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Let's make sure there isn't one closer. Nope, there isn't. Okay.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Dang it. There's a Thorpe online. Hmm. Oh, lovely.
Programming limpet drone. Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
That's not quite true, Nemesis. There's a whole science to how these things are available.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
All right, I need fuel. Okay, system map. Oh, there's a station. Okay. Let's head for the station. And once we get to the station, I'll kind of go through the whole science of it. Or
Warning, temperature critical.
Yep, that's why I'm heading to the station. Okay, I will go over this as soon as I land and get fueled up. I don't want to talk and run myself out of fuel. Which is the kind of thing I could do. Alright, that's as far as I can go, Super Cruise. That's the much boost as I can do. I gotta fly the rest normally because it's just not enough fuel. I've done Lupatalk shames, yep. I have yet to run myself out of fuel talking, and I don't want it to be a first. I appreciate that, Mr. Mad Hatter, but I've still got just under a 1/4% or a quarter of a tank, and only 5,000 and change light seconds to go. So hopefully this isn't going to be a problem. I'm not going to use boost the rest of the way in because I don't want to run myself out of fuel. Does take longer to get there. Well, maybe just a little bit more. I still got fuel. Uh-oh, gonna loop a shame anyway. Here we go, executing the loop of shame. Hey. I'm supposed to be going to Klimek Terminal. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Request approved. Cleared for landing on docking bay 2-3.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Take note of speed restrictions, Commander. Slow down.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing successful. Command system shut down.
Alrighty.
Commander, there is a state of uprising in this system. Be careful who you side with.
Do we have a material trader here? Because that would make it easier. No. All right. Okay, so let's go to desktop, then pull up this guy. All right. So here's the lowdown on everything. As soon as I get to the right page. Ah, there it is. Okay. Now there's this, basically three different things that come into play here. The state of the faction that the high grade belongs to, the allegiance of the faction that the high grade belongs to, whether it's independent, alliance, federation, or empire, and sometimes the economic type. And I haven't figured out the permutations of the economic type. So I'll stick with the other two because that's most of it is between those two. So, pharmaceutical isolators. The allegiance of the system doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the faction state should be in outbreak. That's not going to help me. The military supercapacitors and military grade alloys. The allegiance doesn't matter. The system must be in either in war or civil war. Let's see. Improvised components. Okay, this one's a little more difficult to get because the system must be independent. It cannot belong to the Alliance, cannot belong to the Federation, cannot belong to the Empire. And the system must be in civil unrest. Next, proto-heat and proto-radiolic alloys. Proto-heat radiators, proto-radiolic alloys. Now, I ended up grabbing one so one of the other factions in the system happens to be in Boom, and when I grabbed their theirs, well, I got those. So both of those require a system in Boom with the allegiance of the system not mattering, but, and here's a big but, if you're one with an Imperial allied faction or a Federal allied faction that is split and may either have that or one of those two or the core dynamics components if it's Federation, the Imperial shielding if it is Imperial. So in general, if you want to try and get it down so that you've got a 50-50 shot, you want a non-Federation or Imperial system in boom. And then you got 50% heat radiators, 50% radiolic alloys. Now, core dynamics composites and Imperial shielding. One's Federation, the other's Imperial. Originally, it was only in boom states. However, it's only most frequent in boom states. It will show up in war, civil war, outbreak, any state. If you are Federation aligned, if this faction is Federation aligned, you can get it in any state. It's just it's in boom. It's the only thing other than in boom you get the best chance at it. Again, Imperial shielding. Any Imperial faction, better odds are in boom. And that's basically the lowdown of it. Now, I found there are sometimes that some of them won't occur if, for instance, you can be if it's a federal. If you're looking for core dynamics components, you're in a system where the faction is Federation aligned, but it's not a democratic faction. You may get no high grades. You also may get high grades with, even looking for core dynamics, but they may not occur. You may just get the proto heat and proto radiolic alloys because the faction is not a democratic faction. Same thing goes on the Imperial side. If you're looking for Imperial shielding, you get a much better chance if it's an Imperial faction that is allied with the Imperial. Those two are ones where I've kind of found that the actual faction government matters a little bit, was in the core dynamics and the Imperial shielding. The other two, exquisite focus crystals and biodeck conductors, you can only get them by trading or doing missions. And doing missions to get components is a really slow slog. I don't suggest it. The best system I've found for doing it is going down to Sothis and doing passenger missions. And stacking them and stacking them and stacking them. And even so, it takes longer than just trading for them and doing something else because the trip down to Sothis is a ways, and you need a specially set up ship to do it because you need a ton of passenger cabins and a variety of types of passenger cabins. But that is what it is. Anyway, that is as far as I've been able to determine the full scoop on how to get the manufactured materials. They're definitely with the additional faction states that have been added in the game over the last few years, where there's a few other states I'm not sure where they line up, so I don't generally use them. But I know Civil War and war both are wars, and those both generate um, the war type drops. Boom is your other big state, and then the improvised components are just a pain because, not improvised, farmer isolators because outbreaks a pain. Yep, I cross trade for pharmaceuticals, bios, and exquisite focus crystals, which is what I did at the beginning of this stream, and then hunt down the rest. And get this back up. So I've got pharma done, military grade alloys done, proto heat radiators done, biotech conductors done. I need improvised components, military supercapacitors, imperial shielding, core dynamics components, and proto-radiolic alloys. So I got another couple of nights of work. And so what I will do first is get all of them except um, the improvised components, because of the ones I'm looking for. Those are the most difficult. And I'll do a couple tries for the improvised components. If I can't find them, I will probably take the core dynamic and imperial shielding and trade those over. One thing I have found is that the higher population of the system, the more signal sources there are. The more signal sources there are, the more likelihood you have high grades. But take that with a grain of salt because it doesn't always follow that logic. Um, needs need more testing there. Alrighty. So at this point, I've gotten as much done tonight as I can. So I'm gonna have to leave things here and pick it up tomorrow. So I'd like to thank everyone who came along for the ride this evening. It was great having you all along in the stream chat. Hold on, let me just make this easy. Get rid of that. There we go. In the stream chat, we have Mr. Mad Hatter, Vagabond Querier, Tacita, Hug, James, Majestic, Nemesis. I thought there was one more. I guess not. Well, thank you guys very much for joining me in the stream chat. It's great having you all along, as always. So, let's bring this up. At this point, we're going to leave things here. Pick it up again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now. This is Torice Majestus, signing out.